These are paper computer games, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I made over 400 of them, and just be talking about it in general. Now let me guess, when you hear the term paper computer game, you're probably thinking of some random paper game that a kid's making for their other friends to play that are based on computer games. And you're half right. You see, paper computer games are ultra simple role-playing games with an emphasis on role-playing and story building. Anyone can create any PCG, and they're so sandboxy that you can add any mechanics or anything you want because the core system is so simple. The system itself consists of quite a few different illustrations that make up a game, and the player has their character somewhere on the screen and an obstacle or part of the world to explore. Players can say what they want to do, and the game master the PCG master basically tells them if it works or not. They also give character dialogue and other hidden lore to fully enrich the character and player in the setting. You might be thinking that sounds a lot like something like Dungeons and Dragons, and you'd be partially right on that, but there's no dice, there's hardly any rules, and everything's visual. There's no like dungeon miniatures or anything. You basically see everything that is on each screen. And the reason they're called screens is because each page, like a computer screen, is basically a point-and-click adventure within each page. But the player has so many options, they can practically do anything. The PCG master just says if it works or not. And whenever the player dies, they just say save game and can try again. It all started when I was in the Zeekers TCG Discord, which was an old TCG community server back in the day. It has since been taken down and stuff, but this member called Sketchy Penguin was talking, and he was talking to me about PCGs, and I had no idea, so I checked the Paper Computer Games channel at the time, which is the official place where you get all your PCG information and videos, and I saw he was streaming. I clicked on the stream, did a little chatting, and he checked out my channel. And I remember him specifically watching a video where I was showcasing my card game at the time, Epic Wars TCG. He was commenting on this card, Toten Wolf, out of all the cards I was making, and thought it was really cool. I'm a big TCG maker. I've been making games ever since I was little. They've been slowly getting a lot better and a lot more professional and fun as they've progressed. But PCGs really took a big chunk of my life. And I'm pretty sure I was really obsessed with it mainly from 2021, late 2021 to about 2023. And then 2024, I kind of fell off and switched to TCGs unexpectedly. Like, the momentum was crazy. I was about to publish a book about the games. I can pull it up right here. This is the Paper Computer Games core book. And it's basically a guidebook on how to play and make PCGs and basically what they are. It gives you all the different types of screens that you could make, a bunch of lore, and then I was also working on some other things like the Shogun Chronicles, which was a history of all my games, trying to connect them all. And the PCG community is all about the community pretty much, and the lore. Anyone can add on to anyone's games and use anyone's characters, so it's basically all public domain. It's the most sandbox experience that you can have when it comes to any sort of community. I remember making this game called Unending, which was a PCG where anyone could add on to it, and it would never end. You just kept playing the new pages that someone else made and keep developing a crazy story, and that got really fun too. Now let me talk about the creator. The creator's name is Chris, and ever since they were little, they had been making these little games, and it was only till Zach, his friend of the creator, launched Paper Computer Games on YouTube. He also launched quite a few other things like this community book where it encompasses everyone's games during that time and his friends' games. And he mainly had his friends' community back in the late 90s. And then he finally branched off and did YouTube, which finally I found it, and I kind of was really obsessed with that for a long time. Literally every summer day or after school, I would spend all my time, literally no wasting time. I would either be making games, making PCG videos for my other channel, which I'll link the description if you want to check that out. I no longer upload on it, but it has about 200 PCG videos, or playing PCGs or documenting the stories on the PCG fandom, which is a big encyclopedia of all the PCG lore and stories. Like, everyone's games are documented on there. And what I found most fun was finding old games or games that people had just recently made and making sequels and expanding those games, fleshing out every detail. I remember this series called the Archangel series. Zach made a one-page game with only like 4 different things on it, and me and a few others, like Multipaper Games, made a game on each of those things, and it turned into a whole series. Or that one time when Zach made a demo game just to tell you what paper computer games are, and people made a whole series based on that. It's called the Gnome Saga. There's an awesome video on it. I'll link that in the description too, because that's really fun to watch. But when I first found the PCG community, I was kind of skeptical because I saw the system and I saw basically how simple the games were to make and play, and I wanted to add a little bit more complexity. So in my games, I added some classes and other things like HP, and I even added some dice rolling mechanics to kind of bring it back to those D&D things that I was so used to. And I actually brought my first game and quite a few others during the time, like Ancient Tunnels, which was for an event we all made, and some other ones like Bridge of Natafar. And me and my friends played it at the board game club at school, and we had so much fun. Like, I'm not kidding, that was the most fun I've ever had at any game night ever. And then it was so much fun that when board game club ended, I actually hosted my own little PCG club at home, and it kind of spawned my own little community within our school. And then the community kept growing. I kept making more and more videos, and others were joining. We were playing PCGs on Discord. You know, you just take a picture of each screen, hop in a voice chat, and play the game. You didn't need to worry about rolling dice or all that other stuff. It was just kind of already there. I think one of the main appeals to PCGs is that they're so simple, but also that could be a drawback. Because after I've made so many games and all this stuff, it's like the simplicity of it kind of got to me, because at first it's so easy to get into something that's simple, but there has to be enough there to keep you into it. And, you know, Zach's videos were keeping me into the game, the lore, the fandom, all that good stuff, the PCG shop, where anyone could download free games and play them. But after that, I just kind of got lost. I tried to invent a leveling system for playing PCGs. I tried everything. I made more books. I made new mechanics, new game systems, new styles of games, and I felt like I just tried everything. And it's kind of sad that I left PCGs, but there was just such a magical appeal to PCGs at the time. People could make dreamlike worlds, and I think that's why in my new TCG, the setting is a dream world, and that's heavily inspired by PCGs. I mean, even TCGs and PCGs have done crossovers. Like, I took some characters and put them into my old games at the time, and we were actually doing quite a bit of cohesion between those communities. And one day, I hope that all of these creative communities can just kind of turn into one welcoming, friendly community for anyone to have an amazing part of their life to be in. Like, PCGs, one of the best parts of my life. It was such a highlight. I learned so much. And same with TCGs. So I think that these communities and these games and these projects give us so much purpose, and we can learn so much and grow from them. Like, when I first started PCGs to where I am now, I've progressed a lot, and I've learned a lot of valuable things within game design also. And that begs the question, would I do it all over again if I could? And I think I definitely would. You know, I'd probably do a few things differently, especially when it got to the drama bits, but for the most of it, it was like golden age of my childhood, and it was so much fun connecting with people who actually liked things I made, and I could go and make and explore other worlds that, you know, that were in my imagination. I could turn my art into games for others to enjoy, and it was the most casual RPG ever. It's not like it was all serious or anything. People just wanted to, you know, from time to time play some games that they drew, like just on some random computer paper. And it was, man, it just always makes me a little bit sad talking about this, because all these memories were so good that it's hard to kind of move on from that, and kind of reminisce. But I'm really happy, and if you guys want to go try and experience PCGs for yourself, you can still experience so much. I know the community is a little bit slower right now, but you can always bring it back. And whether you're into PCGs, TCGs, comics, books, art in general, anything, just keep doing that, because there's so much fun and fulfillment within your life when you are creating. And that's kind of why I just wanted to make this video, to talk about PCGs, because I don't want to just ignore it. It was a big part of my life, and I want to kind of compile what it meant to me in this video. And so what it mainly meant was ultimate freedom in creating anything I wanted to without having to worry, community and talking to people, learning so much, creating worlds with everyone, and it was like ultimate collaboration because anyone could collab with each other and work on these worlds that we created. So that was this video. Let me know what you guys think about Paper Computer Games, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.